And we are now getting some breaking news on the broadcast, and this concerns the Chinese President Xi Jinping meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Mr. Antony Blinken. President Xi said that the state-to-state interactions should always be based on mutual respect and sincerity. And here's hoping that this visit by Secretary Blinken should make positive contributions to stabilizing relations between U.S. and China. So this is, remember, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's first visit to China. It was, in fact, the highest level visit by a U.S. official to China in nearly 5 years. That's how significant this becomes. Let me actually bring in my colleague Siddhant Mishra, who's joining us on the broadcast. Siddhant, like I said, in nearly 5 years, it hasn't gone down as big as this particular meeting, as far as US and China are concerned. Of course, strategic ties are going to be discussed, and also the fact that US and China have had a very, very strained relationship. All eyes will be on the conversations that happen out of this particular trip by Antony Blinken, considering this has been the big worry for both these superpowers globally.
Well, yes, absolutely. And in fact, the photographs that we are playing on our screen, that's very rare, very rare, where we could see the top level of an American official meeting the Chinese President Xi Jinping. Now, the significance of this visit is huge, and reason being that this is perhaps for the first time in the 5 years since Trump's trade war that a senior official has visited China. Yes. Also, that too of a level of Secretary of State. And also the idea is to de-escalate tensions growing between the two countries. Because, event after event, incident after incident, tension is increasing between the two countries. And perhaps also the Chinese ambition to replace US as a global power is also something which will be discussed, or perhaps has been discussed. And in fact, in the State Department's release yesterday, perhaps this morning, it's clearly been stated by Antony Blinken or the American side that a healthy competition is always welcome, but both the countries need to have dialogue, to resolve issues. So that has clearly been stated by Americans to Chinese. Now, but the Chinese side, it looks like that the Chinese are giving cold shoulder to Americans, even despite Antony Blinken visiting Beijing. So yesterday, Mr. Blinken met the foreign minister. The bilateral took place. Today, he met Xi Jinping. Perhaps we've been told that it is more than a courtesy meet, because there is also a possibility. I mean, some of these sections of the American media have been reporting that Biden can also meet Xi Jinping. Now, where that is something which both countries will work out. There is also a possibility that they both can meet this year in New Delhi on the sidelines of G20 head of the state meeting. So that can also be a possibility. So, there are a lot of possibilities, and in fact, the American media has been reporting about Biden and Xi Jinping's meeting possibly this year. So maybe a roadmap is also being prepared by both the sides if that meeting takes place, and that meeting should give out a message of de-escalation or perhaps or de-escalation or resolving issues. So there should be a strong message that needs to be given out, and for that purpose, this particular meeting is currently underway.
Absolutely. After 10 hours of talks with other senior officials in China, finally that big meeting with Xi Jinping that has happened of Antony Blinken's, and of course the agenda is to reverse that downward spiral when it comes to the China-US relationships. How far and how significant will this meeting be? We'll get to know in some time to come.